Rick Weaver, Vice President of Marketing at American Amicable, and joining me this morning is my co-host, Marc Psencik, Vice President of Marketing. Welcome back to some of you that have been with the American Amicable group of companies in the past. We're excited to have you back, and for those of you who this will be your first time, welcome aboard. I'm going to take a few minutes here before we get into some products, and Marc's going to go over some what we think are exciting enhancements, functionalities that we now have since we were last associated with Family First. But I want to take a moment or two, and for those of you specifically who may be new to us, tell you a little bit about who we are, what we are, and where we are. The American Amicable group of companies is located and domiciled in Waco, Texas. Some of you may know Waco for no other reason than watching a very popular television show, Fixer Upper on HGTV. If you are familiar with that show, the building that leads in, that's lit up, the Alico building, that in fact is our building. We own that, so we get a lot of great press publicity from that show. And yes, we do occasionally see Chip and Joanna around, so and they're great folks. That's where we are, what we are. We are a company that specializes and focuses on simplified issue products, primarily final expense and simplified term, including mortgage protection. We also are the home of, we call it the one-page application. All our applications are one page except reject. So when we emphasize simple, we really do mean simple. We try to keep doing business with us and try to make you doing business with your clients as simple as possible. This year marked in 2018, it marked the 5th consecutive record year of production for the American Amicable group of companies, and we did just over 82 million in new issued annualized production. About 60% of that was final expense, about 35% was simplified issue term, and the balance was a combination of some other products that we have to round out the portfolio. And again, a few of those Marc will touch on here shortly. Initially, Family First will be focusing on Senior Choice, which is our core final expense product. And when Marc comes on, he's going to tell you some really exciting news just recently within the last 30 days that will certainly affect your ability and the ease with which you can market that. You will also be selling Home Protector, which is American Amicable's core mortgage protection product, as well as Easy Term, which is a simplified issue term for those folks that don't qualify for mortgage protection invariably because they do not have a mortgage. They are renters. And those are the core products that we're looking forward to starting with Family First. We believe we have additional products down the line that will certainly augment your portfolios at some point in time. As most carriers would probably tell you, we would hope that American Amicable will be your one-stop shopping carrier and that we'll be able to provide the correct product that will service the vast majority of your clients. So with that and that lead-in, I'm going to turn it over to Marc, who probably has a little more exciting news and some updates for you. So Marc, if you will.
Hello, everyone. This is Marc, and I am also excited to have the Family First group back with us and the opportunity to restart some friendships, if you will, and to make some new ones. So we're certainly looking forward to that. I'm going to touch on a few things enhancements that we have made since the last time a lot of you were on board with us, and certainly it'll be new to those of you that'll be new to us. But one item that I'll touch on first is the Social Security drafting calendar. What we did back in the summer of 2017 was starting with our Social Security drafts is to follow the Social Security drafting. And what that means to you is that when that money on a Social Security payment is put in that bank account, we're there to get that premium payment out of there. We saw about a 50% reduction in the NSF cases when we instituted this back in the summer of 2017. What we need from you as an agent in the field is to let us know that a case is being paid through Social Security. And the best way to do that, we simplify it for you. If they're being paid on the 1st or the 3rd, we ask you to put 1S or 3S. And that tells us they're drafting either on the 1st or the 3rd, and it's a Social Security draft. If it's drafting on a Wednesday, we ask that you put 2W, 3W, or 4W to alert us as to when that Social Security draft should be coming out of their account. It's something that's real important that we know on the front end. It's going to reduce a lot of problems for you on the back end because that money will be there. Just an example, say the 3rd was on a Sunday. In the past, we might have drafted for that on Monday or Tuesday as we came back. But Social Security calendar says that money is there by Friday. And so now we're into that account and plucking that premium out on Friday when it's there, as opposed to going in Monday or Tuesday and finding that money's been spent over the weekend and it's not available for the premium. So it really helps out if you let us know. We also, kind of in the same vein of return drafts and things like that, if the case does come back, return draft, say it's not Social Security and it's just a regular bank draft and it comes back, we're notifying you of the return draft in an email, so you can jump on that, get with the individual, and try to conserve that case. Something else we've done is an update to our drafting procedures back in March of last year. Say a bank draft comes back insufficient funds when we first hit it. In the past, we'd turn around in a couple of days and try to draft again, and that's what that old definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So what we're doing now is sending out a letter that says, hey, money wasn't there this time. If you approve, if you don't let us know that you want us to not do this, we're going to go ahead and draft for 2 premiums on the next month. And that's really helped us hit those cases where the money is there the next month. We haven't had too many people respond back that they don't want us to do that. And we're probably seeing a 12 to 15% more cases clear in that regard than it used to be in our past approach to that. So it's certainly something that's helped, and we wanted to let you know that process was in place in case you have a client that calls you and said, hey, they're about to hit my account twice. Well, yeah, we're letting them know, but they have the opportunity to opt out of that. The next item I wanted to talk about was something that has been a real game changer for us. And we've seen and heard from the field that this is something that has helped them dramatically. And back in February, on the 25th of this year, just essentially a month ago, now that it's March 26th, we instituted a new procedure for our ages 50 to 85 final expense business, which used to require a phone interview on all those cases unless they were return a premium. And what we've done now is there's only 2 categories that require a phone interview. One is, and I'll break it down, 50 to 70 and 71 to 85 ages, okay? 50 to 70, the only time that we would require a phone interview is if the payer is someone other than the proposed insured, spouse, or a significant other or child, okay? And if it's something other than that, which you don't run into very often in the 50 to 85 range, we would require, or 50 to 70 in this case we're talking about, we would require a phone interview. And to back up a step, I'm talking about utilizing our mobile application. I think it's real important that you go out and use our mobile application because it does several things for you. It not only completes the app fully, it's not going to let you move forward, eliminates the handwriting aspect of this where we go to look at that and don't even know exactly what you wrote. And it also gets your case into the system more quickly because you have done some of the data entry for us on the front end. So as I talk through this, I'm talking about utilizing our mobile application. So 50 to 70, the only time we're going to require a phone interview is if the payer is other than the insured, spouse, significant other, or the child of the proposed insured. Now let's move to the ages 71 to 85. The same applies for the payer. Okay, so that still applies to that aspect of it. But if we find someone 71 to 85 that is not listed in the pharmaceutical database, then we're going to require a phone interview to be completed. Okay, it's not that they don't have any medications. It's not that it's that they're not showing up at all in the pharmaceutical databases. And what we've done to enhance our mobile application is when you go in and you hit submit, we're checking the pharmaceutical databases, 2 databases. We're checking MIB, and we're looking back to our company to see if there was previous coverage. And those things together key us to give you a solid underwriting decision on those cases. So if you remember, utilizing Aptical, where they would actually check the pharmaceutical databases on a phone call and MIB and those type of things, we're talking about a 12 to 15 minute phone interview. But by utilizing our mobile app and us checking those databases and not requiring the phone interview in the majority of the cases, that's happening in 10 to 15 seconds as opposed to that phone interview of 12 to 15 minutes. So what that does for you as an agent, it gets you in and out of the house, it gets you a solid decision on that case, and more interviews, more opportunities in front of applicants on that day because you're in and out of those homes. Now, the decisions we're giving you, okay, in the past, if you'll remember, you were able to give us additional information. We're still allowing you to do that. We have not taken that away from you. So you're our field underwriter. You're our person out there that is seeing this individual face to face, and we want that feedback no matter what the decision is. But the decisions you'll see from our mobile app is approved as applied for. So that means if you apply for immediate and we say approved as applied for, that's what they're getting. Okay. Then the next would be approved as applied for, or not approved as applied for. It's another plan. So maybe you applied for immediate and we approved for graded, and we're going to give you the reasons why, and again allow you to input that information to us. We're going to tell you if it's a decline. I mean, if it goes through and we run across something that should have been an automatic decline, we're going to show that on the screen to you. But again, you'll have an opportunity to give us information and we'll tell you why it was declined, and you'll have the opportunity to give us additional information. Refer to home office is another decision that you'll see, and all that means is the only thing that came up on this case was an MIB hit, and we can't make an underwriting decision solely based on a Medical Information Bureau information. So that's one we're going to have to refer to the home office and do a little more, have a little underwriting on that one, but it shouldn't really delay things. We're going to quickly look at that, and again, you can add additional information on that. Another one is a telephone interview is required. We're going to give you the opportunity to complete that interview at that time or allow us to complete it on the back end. My suggestion to you is to complete that interview at the point of sale. It's going to be much easier for you to do it with that individual who you built a relationship with in that time that you've been in front of them, and have them complete that interview. But we're not pointing you to Aptical, which is going to check the databases again. What we would suggest you use is EMSI, which is a shorter version of the phone interview. So you're still going to get in and out of that home more quickly than you would have if you'd used Aptical. So it's been an exciting addition for us, or change for us. We've seen great feedback from the field, and quite frankly, we've seen an uptick in business because it just makes it easier for those agents, for you as an agent out in the field, to move through this process and get to the next home. And if you're using a paper app still, obviously the 50 to 70, you'll know if it doesn't fit one of those payer categories that you would go ahead and do a phone interview. 71 to 85, you won't know if they're in the database or not. So we would suggest you go ahead and do the phone interview at that point, or you can send it in and we'll complete it on the back end. Anything I missed there, Rick, that you would add to that?
No, I think you covered it, Mark. I guess the key thing there is, folks, that we would strongly urge you to use the e-app. It is painless, it's fast, and it's certainly far more efficient than paper.
I agree completely. And I think out of all these we talk about, that's one of the major things. But what I'm going to step into next are some of the products that we've introduced since you've last been with us. Survivor Protector was introduced a little over a year ago, and it's a decreasing term with a monthly income benefit. So basically, instead of selling this product to a face amount, you would sell it to a monthly premium. A monthly income benefit. So the illustration software allows you to quote 3 different levels. The plan terms are 15, 20, 25, 30, and to age 70. But say you've got an individual and you're writing one of the plans, and you're quoting 800, 1,000, and 1,200 as a monthly benefit to their beneficiary. So it gives you an opportunity to see that cost for each one of those, and basically the same riders as you'll find on our other term products. It does not allow critical illness, but overall, the riders are essentially the same. Something that's real key on this, say the person took a 25-year term, all right, and they lived and they died in the last month of that 25-year term. So they died at 24 years and 11 months. We're going to guarantee a 2-year payout of that amount. So if they had a monthly income of $1,000, as an example, even though they were in the last month of that 25 years, we would pay that $1,000 a month for 24 months. The beneficiary question that comes up often is, can they take the lump sum at the time of claim? And yes, they can. So the beneficiary ultimately has that ability to say at the time of claim, but keep in mind it is a decreasing term product, so that face amount is decreasing on a monthly basis throughout that plan that you've selected. So it's going down, but that monthly income benefit will stay the same. So it's a neat product. You would change your sales approach to that. You're selling on a monthly income benefit as opposed to a face amount, but I think you can really build a sales process around that. Another product that came out a couple of years ago is our Security Protector. It's basically an accidental death plan, very inexpensive, very easy to qualify. It gives you $1,000 of term insurance, okay? but the accidental death benefit is either 100, 200, or 300,000 you can select. So basically, it's covering someone who, may not qualify health-wise as easily. We look at avocations a lot on this as opposed to the health, but it's a 20 or 30-year base plan, ages 20 to 60. So if you're looking to add a little coverage before you walk out of the home, maybe you sold them an easy term and you want to cover them for accidental coverage, this would be a good product, a security protector that you would look at. We've also added an accident-only disability income rider. And we've always had the disability income rider, and our definition is, you can't do the activities of your current job, okay? Not any job, but your current job. So we have a much more liberal definition of that. And the accident-only disability income rider on the term products is pointed towards total disability due to accident, okay? And you can't have both DIR and accident disability income rider, but what the accident-only DIR provides you is you can sell this to self-employed individuals, where our normal standard disability income rider is not available to self-employed. So you as an agent are certainly qualify for the accident-only disability income rider. So that's a neat rider that we've been able to add to the term products over the last couple of years. Some things we're doing to keep you informed. We have a newsletter, a quarterly newsletter that's going out to give you little tidbits of what's going on. It'll update you on things that are happening here at the home office, kind of remind you about things like Social Security drafting, those kind of things to keep it in front of you. We also send out email blasts, so I want you to make sure that you pay attention to those because that's how we communicate a lot of our information to you on a regular basis, but the newsletter is quarterly. We've added a company store, which we had a lot of requests for, hey, how can I get American Amicable gear? How can I provide something for my clients as I go into their home? This company store allows you to do that, and we encourage you to go out there and check it out. Go to your website, your agent portal, and you'll be able to get there. You'll see information about it in the newsletter, but it's just an addition that we've provided to try to keep everyone up to date and the opportunity to have some of the American Amicable items and give those to your clients or your office staff or whomever you would like to. Another product that I want to touch on that came out earlier this year, it's more recent than the others, is our single premium whole life. It came out the first quarter of this year, and it's a traditional single premium whole life where it's, as it says, a single premium. Basically, you're doing a wealth transfer of, I've got this cash and I want to put it in this plan and provide a face amount. It's simplified issue, ages 45 to 80, preferred and standard rates for non-tobacco and tobacco. And basically an individual can put in $10,000 up to $300,000. So it's just something to have in your portfolio when you're out there in the home and somebody says, I've got this money, I want to kind of protect it for my beneficiaries where they get it tax-free as a life insurance benefit as opposed to having it taxed if it's just sitting there in an account. And that's how you would approach that product. So again, that came out earlier this year. And I'm going to finish on something that is exciting to us. And as Rick and I travel and we're in meetings, invariably somebody will raise up their phone and say, hey, I just got paid. And what we're doing now is midday, we're notifying you that you're about to get money in the bank based on the advance that you're getting. So boom, we'll send you out an email and said, hey, money's coming. And we made that change also where we almost guarantee that money is in your bank account by the end of the day. Okay. There may be some outlier credit unions and stuff where that doesn't happen, but the majority of the time we'll send you an email by midday sometime, and by that afternoon you'll have money in the bank. Really important on a Friday. That hey, you're getting paid and that money's going to be there this afternoon, so you can go out and utilize it over the weekend for that special project or a little partying you're going to do or something along those lines. So watch out for those. You didn't get them in the past, but it's something we're excited to be able to provide to you and get that money in the bank for you. And those are, I know that's a lot. But as you have questions about these, please contact us and let us know, and I'll shoot it back to Rick now.
Thank you, Mark. Well, I know that was a lot to try to digest day one with us. We're going to be out and about at some meetings across the country. We're going to hopefully sponsor several more webinars and continue additional webinars throughout the year that maybe won't be quite as fast and furious, more of a fireside chat, hopefully, down the road. But we wanted to hopefully get you a little excited about some things that we have to offer that, again, many carriers offer products that are very similar in nature, but we think we have some processing capabilities, certainly support to you folks that make doing business with American Amicable more attractive. Now, with that was the business aspect. Well, we're not always all business. We do like to have fun, and we like you folks to have fun as well. So since the beginning of time, and for the beginning of time for American Amicable, that was 1910, by the way. So if any of your clients ask, yes, we've been in business going in 109 years. We're an A-rated AM Best carrier, and we know that's important. But what's fun for you and fun for us is we annually have an agent incentive. Our qualification periods run January 1 through December 31. Some of the exotic sites that we've been to recently, and I hope I remember, I'll start, I think, 2014. We went to London. 2015, Hawaii, 2016, Ireland, 2017, Barcelona, 2018, Whistler, Canada. In 2 months for 2019, we're going to Monte Carlo. That's qualification, of course, is closed, but what's not closed is 2020. It's only March, so there's more than adequate time. We're going to Athens, Greece. If you've never been with us on one of our trips, we go to 5-star properties once in a while. We actually have to regress to a 4-star, but it's 4 or 5-star properties. We fly you and an adult guest 18 or over round trip from the nearest international airport to your residence to the site. We have scheduled functions, we have receptions, we have buffets, we have excursions, activities that you and your guests can choose from. We do have by mandate, this part is mandated by the IRS. Yeah, I know none of us like that 3-letter acronym, but we do have, and I hate the word business meeting, but we have about a 90-minute business meeting that is very lighthearted, upbeat, very casual in nature. We review some of the State of the Union for the past year, some things that might be forthcoming. We enjoy some fun and games, I'll call it. You'll have to see what that means when you go throughout the meeting. We also have a formal awards night with a reception, a sit-down serve dinner. Every qualifier is called up individually. We do not do block recognitions. We think that if you work that hard and put that kind of effort in, you deserve your moment in the sun. So you are called up individually and recognized individually. And that has really been well received to that. So we think once you've been to one of our annual conventions that you'll ensure that you go every year. So again, in June 2020, we go to Athens, Greece. You can go to our website and you will see the actual qualifications, which are 85,000 of annualized first-year production for an agent. So, and all our products count equally. I know some competitors out there have weighted averages depending on the product. All our count 100%, with the exception of the new single premium. But that's another, so you'll see that. But having said that, we do have fun. We're going to be give you, I know a lot of carriers limit. They have a finite number, only the first X number that qualify go. Give an example, we're going to be taking about 380 people, qualifiers and guests, to Monte Carlo. That's the good news. Bad news is trying to herd 380, but that's our problem. So if next year for Athens, if there are 480 qualifiers and guests that have met our qualifications, that's how many are going to go. So with that, we want to say welcome back again one more time. We're excited to have Family First with us again, and both Mark and I are certainly looking forward to renewing some of the friendships, acquaintances from years past, and obviously looking forward to formulating some new ones. So thanks for all you do. Be safe out there, and again, welcome aboard.